Hello everybody, Shadow SP here. So, if you're playing during a time when roulettes are in the game, which is anniversary and holiday season, in December and all that, you might see something like this pop up. This is the roulette. Now, basically, what this is going to do, I pick one of these. It's going to show me an animation, and then it's going to tell me how many draws I got. So you win a number of draws equal to the number displayed, right? Well, not really. The number displayed is actually randomly generated beforehand, and then the animation is just shown to you as a way to tease you. So whatever the result is pre-canned. It has nothing to do with the animation. It's just the animation is just there to look cool. So then you have to ask yourself, well, do you want to do the realist roulette or the idealist roulette? Well, it's mostly a matter of preference, but I personally go with the realist version because I can't get stuck with 10 draws. I get 20. Yeah, I can't get 100, but I wasn't gonna get 100 anyway. The odds are pretty low. So yeah, we just pick one of these. This account is going to use none of these rolls that they get, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just pick this. And right, it'll show this animation. And yeah, you have to click it to make it stop. Alright, so if we were rolling the gacha, we could get 30 draws, but we are not, so we get 0. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this kind of in more detail later, but the roulette period of the game is basically the best time to do your sparks. But don't just do it on any banner. You should wait until very specific banners, right? There's two kinds of special banners, limited time banners, that rotate monthly. What was it that they call them? Basically, there's one at the mid-month and one at the end of the month. I don't remember the names. They don't really matter. They have different pools of characters, but they tend to both have really strong characters in them. Also, the banners have doubled SSR rates. So, if we look over here at the draw page, yeah, I know that we got a free draw, whatever. We can look at... where's the thing? Draw rates. So we can see normal draw rates on a normal banner, 3% SSR, 15% SR, and 82% ARC. So, this is suboptimal. So if I were saving up draws, from my crystals and my tickets and everything that I wanted to use to reach a spark, which is getting 300 draws on a single banner, so I can pick something from that banner, or in the case of the limited time banners in the middle of the month and at the end of the month, they both have pools of characters that are always selectable. So, and those are the ones that are marked with brand weapons, right? So when you pick those characters, when you pick a character, you get their weapon, right? It's the same way when you draw a character, you draw their weapon, right? So technically, you're really drawing a weapon, or you're really picking a weapon rather than picking a character. But most average players will not spark a weapon that they already have. There is a use case for it. but that's really for the optimizers rather than the casual enjoyers of the game. Yeah, so basically, this if you have a banner with this draw rate, this is not what you want to spend your crystals and your tickets on unless you really know what you're doing. But don't do it unless you really know what you're doing. I think I'll make another kind of follow-up video to talk about sparking in a little bit more detail whenever we reach one of those banners. Just because, you know, it's something time limited and timely because of the fact that we are in a roulette period right now. So, I'm not going to draw, right? Because that would be counterproductive to this account's mission statement. But I will also tell you there are multiple banners you can draw this on. So you have the normal banner, which is the rate up banner that shows up with that rotates with time. Right, it's the current. It's where everything current gets added. But you can also roll in the classic draw. Now I can't because I haven't done the free 10-part draw. Oh man, the amount of things that are gated in a strange way like that, right? It's hard to get. Right, it's hard to imagine exactly what's gonna get in your way. But yeah, there is a different banner which has older characters, older summons that basically it's about to reset. So if you roll the roulette, actually I might not even upload this before it resets. Anyway, but while I'm recording this, it's about to reset. Make sure you don't roll into it before it resets. But basically, when you roll on the classic draw, it lasts for an entire year before the banner resets, right? So remember when I said you had to roll 300 times on the same banner to get a spark? Well, the featured banner rotates over time, and it rotates relatively quickly. It's only up for like a few days, a week, something like that. Kind of varies based on how they're feeling, I guess. But when it rotates, if you don't hit 300 in the sparks, right? It says cerulean sparks up here. If you don't hit 300, it turns into a different currency. So you don't lose it entirely, but it does not let you pick an SSR character or whatever it is that you wanted off of that banner. Yeah, so I would recommend, if you're looking at things, and I think this is a common recommendation, if you look at the banner and nothing is on rate up that you really want, and it's not a festival, 6% SSR rate banner, you might think about actually just rolling on the classic banner. Because that way you can slowly accumulate over time the rolls on that banner over the course of an entire year to maybe get a spark on something. And there are some pretty good things in there that you can spark. For that range from some decent characters, but most of what you want to look at are the summons, right? There are some pretty good summons in there also. But yeah, there's a lot of variety. I don't have access to it here on this account, so I can't exactly show you, but there's a lot of things to see. Perhaps when I'm talking about the when I get to a festival, right, the 6% SSR banner, I'll switch over to my main account so I can actually show kind of the contents of the classic banner, because that would be pretty handy. Alright, oh, one more thing, right? you can see, you can preview the Sparkable list before you actually commit to rolling. So you can see there's only a fairly small pool of characters that are Sparkable on this list. For the most part, and like they said on the banner, it's the characters involved with the current event. So even if you were to spend all your draws on this banner, get up to 300, you would only be able to select from this list. Whereas if this were a 6% banner, there'd be more options to pick from, rather than just the ones on radar. Alright, again, I'll make a follow-up later. So, I just wanted to get this out of the way because I logged in and saw that the roulette was popping up. So, I wanted to talk about it real quick. Alright, this has been Shadow SP. Next on the docket, I suppose, is probably more main story. Yeah. I think getting to the next couple of milestones in the main story is going to be really important for meaningful progression. I think getting to chapter 54 is pretty important for unlocking some really big side stories. So, alright. I will hopefully see you all later. If you watched this and learned something, awesome. If you watched this and didn't learn anything, I'm sorry. I can only say the things that I know. Anyway, I hope that we'll have nah, scratch that. I'm signing off. I don't need to say too much more. I will make another video soon, so see you later.